Hi friends, Stevie here. Welcome to my Better Backbends program full of standalone classes that also mesh together. First of all, if you've heard this spiel before and you want to jump straight to the class, go ahead and skip to. Otherwise, welcome! This program is a remake and an improvement on my older program that was on Cody app, also titled Better Backbends. It will have more classes, new information, more accessible teaching and language, and yeah, just be better overall. It's also an improvement on my old Backbend book, which is no longer available. Maybe will be in the future. Anyway, they're presented in the suggested order and will be launched in the suggested order on the app. However, they do stand alone and you can do them in any order and skip any classes that you like. That being said, for example, there's one towards the end called Final Flow, and it'll be a longer flow style class where we'll go over some more complex transitions and just more complicated movements. And if you find any of that confusing, it could be helpful to then go back to a previous class. So what is Better Backbends? Is it just about things like wheel? Is it about really complex things like TikToks or dropping back? It's about everything. My goal for this program is to make it accessible and interesting and to leave people with an understanding that back bends are not just about the back. It's not just about bending in your spine, that back bends are in fact full body postures. Hence why so many of these different micro workshops or mini flows start to target different portions of something that is involved in a back bend, whether it's shoulders or finding activation, strength in the back or posterior line of the body, finding a little bit more space in the hips so we can spread the bend around, getting some hamstring control, and maybe finding more space up your cervical and thoracic where a lot of us can feel sticky using props. So much good info is covered in this, and I tried to put it into bite-sized pieces, knowing that backbends are really different and individual, customizable. Hopefully with these smaller pockets, you don't feel overwhelmed, and also understanding that backbends are somewhat cumulative, meaning if you're just coming into this, you may not leave with this perfectly round wheel or Kapotasana or flip grip king dancer, right? But hopefully this will provide a toolbox of different techniques that you can use as you investigate in your own body how to find a stronger, smoother, more supple bend, which can look so different in different postures. Sometimes we like to think about back bends as being extension, and that's true. We do often have some extension of the spine, but there might be flexion in other joints depending on the exact posture we are lusting after, or maybe we're not looking for a specific posture. I tend to stay away from too many peak pose or even peak transition classes these days and go more towards a theme. And so a lot of what will be provided here is just this idea of opening and expansion while also keeping it active, keeping it challenging, but still accessible, and just enjoying the journey. For a lot of the backbend offerings, I do suggest having a variety of props. 2 sturdy blocks can be really helpful. I like cork or wood or bamboo, a blanket or even 2, a rolled up towel works fine, a strap, a tie, and maybe even an extra mat. Once in a while, I might call it a chair. I'll tell you if that's in your class beforehand, but it can be helpful to have a sturdy folding chair or a dining chair that you can use to find a little bit of opening as well. And I hope that as you progress through this, again, it's open for all levels, it's available for all levels, that you're able to pick and choose what works best for your body, your needs, and your goals in your movement practice. As always, I'm open to suggestions and thoughts. I'll be adding more and more bonus things to this and maybe even making it its own category if that's something that interests y'all. I know we have a lot of people interested in things that involve backbends. There are so many cool transitions with backbends, but let's get started with some of the basics, focusing on different joint movements and then putting it all together, whether it's in a flow or a workshop-y style setting, because different things work better for different people. Thanks for joining me, and let's get moving.
Hey friends, Stevie here.
Welcome to another edition of Better Back Bends. This is our side body long workshop. So we've done shoulders, the idea of harnessing the power of the back line, smoothing out our bend, unlocking the hips, a variety of micro flows. And now let's focus on the side body, which, it's challenging, right? Because as I separate these into different categories and containers and workshops, and we try to hone in and focus on them, inevitably there's going to be crossover because everything is related, right? And if we're focusing on the side body long, that doesn't mean we can't think also about the position of the pelvis, about smoothing out our bend, about using the back body to help coil and curl us into these positions. But hopefully by honing in or focusing on a few things at a time, and I know it still feels like a lot, it's less overwhelming and we're better able to build our toolbox and then pick and choose from that depending on what we're looking to do in our specific back bends. For today's hybrid style, both workshop and flow, we will be working our way to Ardha Chandra Chapasana, or a bound variation of half moon sugarcane pose, sometimes people call it. Now you don't have to do that peak posture. It will be more about this idea of finding length through the side body and both of kind of coiling in and then unfurling out. So keep that in mind. I recommend having 2 blocks and a strap. Now we'll also spend some time on our shins. So having either a softer mat or placing a towel or blanket down on your mat can be very helpful. But I do recommend having a strap or a tie so that you can enjoy these binds without having to worry too much. Since we're not honing in and focusing on the shoulder as much as we were on Strong and Supple Shoulder Day, having a strap available can be very helpful. So gather whatever you'd like and let's meet together on the mat. We'll start in a Vajrasana seat, which is just on your shins. I'm going to place a block underneath my sit bones because it's a little bit more comfortable for me. However, you do you, friends. And just come to a seat for a moment. Drop into your space. Notice your natural breath. There's no need to do any specific breath practice for today's class unless it calls to you. Bring both your arms out in front of you. Focus on your left arm first. Slide your left arm down, your right arm across your chest as you twist open towards the left. Reverse that motion. Let's do the right. Slide the right arm down and back, open twist to the right. Reverse. To the left. Reverse. To the right. Reverse. One more time. To the left, we'll hold it. Hold your position. Tilt back towards your back hand. Your fingertips may come to the floor. Reach your right arm up and back. Bend into your bottom arm and really arc back. Still think about the position of the pelvis here. Notice I was just like, ooh, I'm really pushing my hips forward. And instead I'm going to think about rounding through pulling the pubic bone towards the sternum and less about this arch through the low back. Push off your bottom arm. Come back to the midline. Reverse that action. Take the right arm across and back. Lean back. Put your fingers down. Lean into your bottom arm. Set the pelvis. Pop off your bottom arm. Reverse the action. Both arms forward. And release them down. Beautiful. Imagine that you have a clock on your mat. In front of you is 12. Behind you is going to be 6. Over to your right is 3. Over to your left is 9. Take your hands and bow them forward like you're coming into child's pose at 12 o'clock. And if at any point the block under your hips, if you have one, becomes uncomfortable, just get rid of it. No big deal. Now take your hands over towards, say, like 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock on your clock. Reach your hands forward and try to bring your sit bones down to or towards the block or the floor. I like to think about pressing firmly through my left hand and then almost like spidering my right fingers further away as I try to be heavy through my right sit bone. You can let your head come down. It just does funny things with the mic. So we're looking to be at about 10 o'clock on the clock and really focusing on the right side body. Right side body as I reach and twist. Think about breathing into the right side ribs, almost like they were an accordion or fan. Every inhale expands and stretches that space. Then our exhale lets us soften back in. Let's walk it over to the other side, about 2 o'clock on your clock. And this time, put pressure through the right hand and squeegee, spider those left fingers further. Breathe into the left side body. Let the left hip be heavy. Great. Come back to center. Walk your hands up. Back up to a seat. Take your arms up to the sky. Sprinkle your right hand down, side bend into your right arm. Reach and stretch through those left fingertips. Make your left hip heavy. Bend more into your right arm. Rainbow across to the other side. Left hand down, right arm by your ear, side bend. Beautiful. Come back up to the midline. Okay, so the same thing with our clock. Now we're going to aim more towards 9 o'clock, so a bigger side bend, and then more towards 3 o'clock. It doesn't have to be exactly 9 o'clock. That's like a 90-degree bend. That's a lot for our body. But as you bring your hands forward, then start to take them over to the left. Keep the right hip heavy and stretch your fingers away from you. And when you get to a place where you feel like, okay, that's it, push your left hand down and then squeegee your right fingertips a little bit further. Again, rest your head. Big breath into the right side body. Release, come back to center. Take it over to the other side. So 3 o'clock on your mat. Push your right hand down and squeegee your left fingertips a little bit further. Excuse me, little cheetah. Breathe into the left side body. Great. Release, sit upright again. Take your arms out to a cactus. Twist to the right. Release your hands down to assist with the twist. Release, cactus. Twist to the left. Put your arms down to assist with the twist. Release. Fold. Put your forearms down. If your forearms don't go down, just put your hands down. But if your forearms do go down, put your forearms down close towards each other. Press your right forearm down. Reach your left arm up. Twist. Release. Right arm up. Left arm up. Right arm up. Left arm up. And right arm up. All right. Release back down and just come back to your sit bones just for a second. One more offering, and that's an infinity twist. Now, if you want to do any of the other variations that we've already done with twisting, that's great, and that's a lovely place to be. An infinity twist can feel like a lot for a lot of people. What this means is, for example, as I come forward and I aim towards, I'm going to say aim towards like 11 to start, so this isn't quite as deep. You can aim towards 10 a little bit more if you'd like. And then it's that left hand that's going to come down while I weave the right arm under, and then I walk the left hand to the top of the mat. So it's this deeper twist here that I use my right elbow to facilitate, and then my hand ends up towards the top of the mat. You can even grab onto the mat. I like to just kind of push down and away. This can be a pretty deep twist, so you choose. Try to keep the sit bones heavy. You could spider your right fingers further towards the left, and that's going to make it more intense. Join me in whatever variation of twist you would like. Obviously backing out of this a little bit as far as the fold will give you more space to twist before you kind of refold. We're here on this first side for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Let's take it to the other side. Aim towards like maybe 2-ish on your clock. And then place the right hand down. Give yourself space to spider your left fingers through and under. And really get into that twist first before you then take your right hand towards 12 on your clock. Push down and away with that right hand.
and spider those left fingers further toward the right. I feel this big time in my bottom shoulder, but you might feel it in a different place or not at all. Great. Unwind. Ooh. Move the block from under your sit bone if it's still there. All right, tabletop position. Oh, that was a lot of bending of the knees. Maybe back one leg up and give it a little bounce. And then switch it out just to give your knees a break. Take a moment to turn your wrists in different directions. Maybe coming to the back of the hands or facing the fingers in. It's always a big stretch for me to face my fingers back towards my knees and then send my hips back towards my knees too, letting the palms peel off and then come back to the floor. Great. Come back to your tabletop position. Enjoy a few fluid cat-cows. And that could be straight forward and back cat-cows. You could kind of come out to the side a little bit, do a little barrel roll. Get loosey-goosey with it just for a moment. All right, pause the action. Take your left leg back and your right fingers forward. Lift both off the ground without changing too much about the position of your pelvis. Strength through the left glute. Reach and stretch. Curl your elbow towards your knee. Reach and stretch them out. Now listen, it's going to change up here. Take your right elbow to the right in a cactus and your left knee to the left like a puppy peeing on a fire hydrant. Now reach and stretch long. Crunch to the middle. Reach and stretch long. Out to the side. Reach and stretch long. Crunch to the middle. Reach and stretch long. Out to the side. Reach and stretch long. One more time like that. Middle. Long. Crunch. Or out to the side. Long. Let's do it one more time. Towards the middle. Long. We're going to change it up now. Take it out to the side. Pause. With your left leg out to the side, straighten it and release your left leg down. Push off your left arm and come up. Gate pose. Gate pose. You can do whatever you'd like with your foot, your left foot. I like to face my toes kind of left-ish. You know. Push down through your right leg. Squeeze your booty. Pull your puke one up. Light with the left hand. Drip your left fingertips down your left ankle and side bend towards the left. You can even just hover your left hand. Have this be more of a side body work. Think about length through the whole right side body. Push firmly through your right knee and reach long through your right fingers. Beautiful. Bring your right hand down in front of you. Right hand down in front of you, okay? Now, a little bit weird here. Bring your right hand down in front of you. Scoot your left foot forward until you can touch or grab your left ankle. Notice how you're kind of in this closing position. Touch your ankle and then blossom your left foot open behind you, kind of like a counter gate, but it's a little hard to balance, right? So we're not taking our left leg all the way behind us because you might fall over. Just kind of blossom open. Let's do that one more time. Bring your left knee in, tap the outer edge of the ankle, and blossom open. Nice. Release. Let's do the other side. Tabletop. Send the right leg back, the left fingers forward. Change nothing about the pelvis and the ribs and lift up through those limbs. Pull them in towards each other. Crunch. Extend long. Right knee out to the right, left elbow out to cactus. Long. Crunch it in. Long. Take it to the side. Long. Crunch it in. Long. Take it to the side. Long. Crunch it in. Long. Take to side. Long. Crunch it in. Long. Take the side. We're going to change it up next time. Long. Crunch it in. Long. Take to the side. Pause. Kick your right leg out to the right. Don't mind my movement. And place that foot down. Push off your bottom arm. Set yourself up for a gate pose of success here. So do whatever you'd like with the right leg. Squeeze your left booty. Side bend over that elongated leg. And even just run those fingers lightly or just keep that right hand floating as you side bend. Great. Come back up. Place your left hand down here. Now, scoot your right foot up until you can tap the outer edge of that right ankle. Hey, right ankle with your right hand. And then ski it back behind you and unfurl open. Big stretch to the whole right side body. One more time. Scoot your right leg up. Tap the outer edge of that ankle. Kind of curl and coil in. And then unfurl, open back up. Beautiful. Hand back down. Tabletop, down dog. Yeah. Pedal out your down dog. Give it some wiggles. Give it some wiggles. Okie dokie artichokes. Pick up your left leg. Bend the knee, open the hip. Tent your left fingertips. Find length through your whole left side body. Whole left side body. From your left fingertips up to your left knee. Icky dokie. Now, look at your right hand. Hey, right hand. Push through your right hand. Come up onto your right toes. Lower your right knee. What? Yeah, lower your right knee. Kink your right shin over to the side. Send your left knee high up to the sky. Push firmly through your right hand. Maybe your left fingertips even grow light. Oh, looks like we're in this weird position. I don't know. Pull your left knee in. Tap back through the ankle. Just tap. No need to grab. And then unfurl open like a baby little wild thing. Unfurl open. One more time. Tap. And then unfurl open. One more time. Tap. Hold. Maybe you even carry your left leg towards the top of the mat, ending in a low lunge. In your low lunge here, adjust your back knee back behind you and just kind of wiggle back and forth from more like a quad stretch position or a low lunge position into something that resembles a half split, so that we're not hanging out. In half splits, we're just kind of bouncing back and forth here. Okay. Pause your bouncies. Walk your left hand onto your left knee and your right hand onto your left knee. Set your pelvis up for success. Squeeze your booty. Pull your pubic bone towards your sternum. This is a great place to be. Curl your right heel towards your sit bone. Curl your right heel towards your sit bone. Reach back with your right hand or your strap and grab the outer edge of that right ankle. Pull the right heel towards the sit bone. Tug your left hip back, right hip forward. Just a different variation of quad stretch. Beautiful. Release. Take your right hand down. Other variation of quad stretch. Reach your left arm forward. Big rainbow of the left arm back behind you. Curl your right heel in. Maybe you grab a strap. Maybe you just grab onto that foot. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back body and resist the urge to dump into that bottom arm. Great. Release the back toes without slingshotting. Tuck the back toes. Pick up the back knee. Keep it bent. Magnetize your feet together. Come up, crescent pose. Beautiful. Crescent pose. Cactus your arms. Set your pelvis. Tug your left hip back. Right hip forward. Open it up. Warrior two. To the right. Magnetize your feet together. Pelvic positioning. Strong legs. Bend more into the front leg. Now, a hovering reverse warrior. So instead of putting your hand on your back leg, just let it kind of sprinkle down like we did in that gate pose as you bend back and arch back. Bend more into the front leg. Beautiful. Come back up, warrior two. Reach your front arm forward. Reach forward. Come up onto the toe of the back foot. Yeah, maybe scooch it in just a little bit. Scooch it in until you can lift up through the back leg, but keep a bend, in the front leg. This is hovering bird. Hips and shoulders are open towards the right. Yes, it's hard. Curl the right knee in towards the chest and tap your ankle. My hips and shoulders are still open. And then unfurl back to your hovering bird. Curl the heel and tap. Unfurl, hovering bird. One more time. Bend into the front leg. Curl and tap. Unfurl. Beautiful. Land back in your warrior two. Goddess pose towards the right side of the mat. Take a little bounce here in your goddess. Take your arms out to a cactus. Side bend to the back. Side bend to the front. Side bend to the back. Side bend to the front. One more time. Side bend to the back. Side bend to the front. Hold. Pivot on your feet. Hands on either side of the front foot and sweep your left leg back. Downward facing dog. Yeah, y'all, you got this. Take your right leg up. Bend the knee. Open the hip. Tent your right fingertips. Big stretch to the right side body. Big, big, big stretch. Look at your left knee. Hey, left knee. Bring it down. Kink your left shin over so you can balance a little bit more. And pick up your right hand. Bring your right knee in. Tap the outer edge of your ankle. And then unfurl back behind you in like a little baby wild thing. Bring it in. Tap. Unfurl. Bring it in close to your belly. Really good. Really crunch and curl. And then unfurl. Bring it in, grab onto that ankle, and carry that foot to the front into a little lungy position. Set your legs up for success. Walk your hands onto your front knee. Same side quad stretch. Curl your back heel in. Reach back with that hand or using your strap. Set yourself up for success. Pubic bone towards sternum. Tug the right hip back, left hip forward. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do that little bounce. Sorry, of this half split thing on this side. We'll do it in a second after the other quad stretch. Release, other quad stretch. Left hand down. Circle the right arm back behind you and grab onto the strap or your ankle. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Release. Hands on either side of your front foot and just kind of send the hips back and forth. Sorry, I wouldn't want to skip this on this side. My right hamstring needs it. Kind of bouncing back and forth between like a half split, like a lazy half split, and a lazy squatty position. All right, we're going to go back to our crescent pose here. So lunge forward, pick up your back knee, keep it bent, magnetize your feet together, use the power of your legs to help lift you up. Set yourself up for success here in your crescent. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. Great. Arms up. Open it to the side. Warrior two. Warrior two, set your legs up for success. Pubic bone towards sternum, bend into the front leg. Doesn't have to be your widest warrior two, y'all. You're thinking about strength of legs here. Arms out. Light, or even hovering on the back arm as you bend towards the back leg. Great. Pick it up. Lean into that front arm. Hop your back foot in a little bit and you can lift it up. Notice I'm still bending into my bottom leg. Whoa, in this hovering bird action here. It's hard to balance. Curl the left knee in. Tap on that ankle. Unfurl back to hovering bird. Bend into your bottom leg. You even keep your hand there for steadiness. Bend, tap, unfurl. Whoa. Bend, tap, unfurl. Beautiful. Land back in your warrior two. Open it up. Goddess. Whew. Goddess pose. Take your arms out to a cactus. Side bend to the back of the mat and the front of the mat. The back of the mat and the front of the mat. The back of the mat, the front of the mat, the back of the mat, the front. Hold. Pivot. Hands on either side of the front foot. Squeegee. Step back to down facing dog. Beautiful. Come forward, plank pose. Lower your knees. Walk your hands out a little bit wider. Think about pulling your chest forward and down. Tap your chest down, reach your chin forward. Tug your knees towards your pubic bone. Tug your knees towards your sternum. Tug your knees towards your sternum and your sternum towards your knees. Pause and release down onto the floor. Walk one leg back on the end of the other to give yourself a little bit of space in your hips. One cobra. Your choice of hands underneath your shoulders, or if you like the funky cobra, tented fingertips. Squeeze your butt. Press your pubic bone down into the mat. Strong legs. Peel your upper body off the floor. Roll your shoulder blades down and together onto your back body. Think about our bend 1 and 2. We haven't played with that in a couple classes, but think about bend 1 and 2 here. Push the back of your skull back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and drag your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Tug your hands towards the back of your mat. Beautiful. Release down. Now, if you have your strap handy and you know you like it for binds, grab it and maybe put a small loop in it. Otherwise, come up into a little Sphinx pose. Kink your right forearm over. Curl your heel in. Grab the outer edge of your ankle with your left hand. Thumb face down. Now, you can use a strap here. You can hook it around your foot and grab on, and that's a great place to be. We're doing a half bow, so face your shoulders back towards the front of the mat here. Shoulders towards the front of the mat. Kick up and lift with your leg. Pull on your leg. Kick with your leg. Squeeze your booty. Think bend 1 and 2. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Take it to the other side. Keep the left forearm over. Curl the heel in. Reach back. Grab onto it. Kick. Shoulders face forward and lift. You can switch the strap if the strap is calling to you. We'll have another chance to do this in just a moment. All the binds ever. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, so your option is to do that again. Or if you'd like to be a little silly about this, we'll do like a fallen side bow. So instead of kinking the bottom forearm over, for example, as I go to do the left side again, I'll kind of put the right arm long so that I can roll onto my right side body as I do this. Now you can also come onto your right side body right away if you want to try this with me on the right side body, and that works out too. So if you roll onto your right side body, you can even kind of settle yourself in and rest your head on your hands. And then remember that idea of kind of curling in to unfurl? You've got your left leg available, curl it in, and grab onto your ankle. Notice how that's easier because we don't have the floor in the way now, so that you can find a little bit more hip flexion, have space to grab somewhere on your right shin or ankle. And then keeping the position of the pelvis, tuck your tail, kick back behind you. Keep the knee somewhat low. There's a lot of different variations of Ardha Chandra Trikonasana. Today we're focusing more on the side body length versus like the upsies and downsies. So instead of kind of doing this weird kickback thing or weird kick up thing, I'm going to do a kick back behind myself, right? Other leg is strong. And here I am in this like weird little side position action. Great, release. Take it to the other side. Brrr, roll onto your left side body. I like to bend my bottom leg a little bit for support and balance, but then pull your right knee in. Pull your right knee in first. Notice how that gives you more space to grab on. Get a firm grip and then kick back. Kick. Whoa, that one's harder to balance for me. Kick back. The pull of the hand on the leg and the kick of the leg against the hand does make it easier to balance. Squeeze the booty. This is kind of like Ardha Chandra Trikonasana. We're just laying down while we do it. Beautiful. Release. Come back to your belly. Put your knees down. Push up tabletop. Send your hips back to a child's pose. Walk your hands back onto your shins. Lift up. Little camel pose. Take your hands behind you. Fingers face down. Think bend 1 and 2. Squeeze your booty. Lift your chest. Little camel pose. Option to stay here, or if you'd like to walk your hands down towards your ankles, you can. Resist the urge to dump your head back unless it's like something you gotta do. Take a big exhale. Come out of your camel pose. Hands forward. Okay. Now, from this position, look back at your legs. Kink your right shin over so that your right knee comes in. Back your left foot up. Find that lightness through your left hand. We're just doing the exact same thing we did on the floor, just on our shin, okay? Just on our shin. It's going to be okay. Pull the left knee in. Grab on. And you can use a strap here, but we're not going to be here for too long, so you can also just grab on, right? Grab on, pull it in, curl in, and then kick back behind you. And this is baby Ardha Chandra Trikonasana, okay? Push through your bottom arm, resist the urge to think and sink in there, and think bend 1 and 2. Chest and shoulders, hips face to the left, and the leg kicks back behind you. We're not worried about going up. Kick back behind you. Squeeze your left booty. Squeeze your right booty too. Squeeze both booties. They're just in a very different position. But basically, this is Ardha Chandra Trikonasana, except that the bottom leg would be straight because we'd be standing, right? And we're going to get there. Release without slingshotting. Well, let's do the other side. Come back to your tabletop. This time, kink your left shin over. Move your right foot out of the way. Right fingertips become light. Lift up, open your shoulders, hips, chest to the right. Curl your right knee in. Grab on. How do you need to do that? Kick back behind you. Strength through your bottom arm and leg. Do whatever you want with your higher foot. Just keep it active. Full body posture. Big length through the whole right side body as it coils and curls. Great. Release. Down dog. Bring your left leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, come onto fingertips. Now, if you do AM side plank, you can do AM side plank here. If you're like, no, I'm going to go back to my shin and kind of do that step up, that's fine too. But if you want to do AM side plank, come up high on the right toes, pivot the right foot so that it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. Firmly plant the sole of that right foot. Woo! And come up, left arm, left knee high. You can even drip your left arm long by your left ear. I haven't done AM side plank in a minute. Hips and shoulders face the left. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slower than you'd like. Step the left foot towards the top of the mat. We'll meet in our crescent pose. Crescent pose here, y'all. Set your pelvis up for success. You won't be here long. Open up, warrior 2. Reverse warrior, stay light on those hands. Reverse warrior. Beautiful. Come up, warrior 2. Straighten out mostly through that front leg. We're going to do a hovering triangle. Hovering triangle. So take your arms out. Reach forward with the right arm like we did in our hovering bird, except this time, don't take the bottom leg off the ground. Just bring the the right arm, the top arm, parallel, like you're holding a beach ball. Hips and shoulders are open towards the right. At least a small bend into that front leg. Magnetize the legs together. Embrace the trembles. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square your hips towards the front of the mat. Lunge into that front leg and pick up your back leg. Now grab onto your blocks. Hopefully they're somewhere near you, sorry. I like mine on the medium or the tall setting, hence why I like to have my blocks that are cork. And keep at least a small bend into your bottom leg. So now we're in like a supported L. My hands are underneath my shoulders, and I'm thinking about finding long lines. Keep a small bend in the bottom leg. Now, here's where we can transition into a half moon, which is picking up the right arm as we stack the right hip on top of the left. Here's also where we can transition into our peak of Ardha Chandra Trikonasana. Notice my bottom leg has a small bend. Keep that. And then it's the same thing that we've been doing. Pull the right knee in towards the chest. Give yourself space and grace to grab that ankle before you kick back. And notice I even have to come up on fingertips as I kick back behind. Ardha Chandra Trikonasana. You can certainly put a strap around your right ankle and play with this for a moment. Keep a small bend into the bottom leg. I realize that makes it harder to balance. Are you thinking about the position of the pelvis? Are you firmly kicking your leg back? Push into the bottom arm. Try not to sink. There's so much to do. If you want to introduce bend 1 and 2, you can. So much to think about here, y'all. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release without slingshotting. Back through your half moon. Close your hips. You can leave your blocks there and move them slightly out of the way. Lower your hands. Reach your back foot to the back of the mat. And sweep your left leg back behind you. Pedal it out. Because we got another side to play with. Beautiful. Lift your right leg up. Bend the knee. Open the hip. Tent the right fingertips. Option for AM side plank, which means come high on the left toes. Bend the knee. Pivot the left foot to plant the whole sole of the foot. Right arm, right knee high. Hips, shoulders facing towards the right side of the mat. I like to grab onto my right knee for support here. Real firm push through the bottom arm. Notice my wrist is not under my shoulder. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slower than you'd like. Step your right foot to the top of the mat. We'll meet in crescent pose. Come up, set your pelvis. Set your pelvis. Open it up, warrior 2. Reverse warrior, resist the urge to just dump your weight. Come back up, warrior 2. Bring the right leg, the front leg, almost to straight. Reach your right arm out, stretch forward. Bring the left arm parallel. Hovering triangle, shoulders, hips, arms, kind of facing towards the left. At least a small bend into that front leg. Magnetize the legs together. I know. Embrace the shakies. La 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 la. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square the hips and shoulders towards the front of the mat. Bend into that front leg. Again, you can use your blocks. I like the highest setting. I'm going to back up a little bit. Come into your L position. nice and strong. Hands underneath the shoulders. Bend into the bottom leg. Stack your left hip on top of your right. Stack left hip on top of the right. Find a solid half moon first. Find a solid half moon first. That's very challenging. Then, if you'd like to do Ardha Chandra Trikonasana, sugarcane pose, bring your left knee in. You can bend both legs here if you'd like to get a little bit closer to the ground. Grab on or use your strap. And then it's a slow kick back and unfurl behind you. Thinking about, again, kicking back behind you versus kicking up. It's just a different version than we've been working on today. You can add in this idea of bend 1 and 2. If you want to add in a little bit more spinal extension and bend, keep at least a tiny bend into the bottom leg. I know there's a tendency to want to lock out. My body just wants to lock out. But make your muscles work for it. Make your muscles work for it. Focus on something that's not moving. Breathe through it. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Back to our half moon. Then let the hips close. Slowly bring your left leg down to meet your right leg. And just enjoy a little fold. Now, if you want to pause the video and play with that, maybe you're like, I didn't have time to do the strap thing. What I mean by that, you can also just stay in your ragdoll if you'd like. The strap thing is just what it sounds like. You use the strap, you can set yourself up from like a little squatty position, and you kick back behind you, right? So it's just kind of playing with this. You can also go back to doing it on your shin. So there are plenty of places where you can take this little same arm, same leg bind and play with it, a tiger pose. Where else do you see this? We kind of did it in a lot of places, like a half bow. You can do that, a full bow, and do it fallen from side to side. You can play with the transition. You can do this in an AM side plank and have it be a Kapinjalasana. Just not a flip grip Kapinjalasana, but doing it in an AM side plank might be something like this. Instead of doing it with our shin on the ground, we do it here. Gosh, I haven't done this in a while. And then you kick back behind you. Notice my shoulder is not over my wrist, right? So there are places you can do it. For some people, that's harder and easier. If you're like, nope, I'm good. I did the things. I did in the work today. That's fine. We're going to meet on our bellies in just a second. But if you'd like to pause and play with it, or maybe now you're feeling like, oh, I did a really good warm-up. I want to play with some of my other back bends that we've been working on. The full body is pretty warm, but we haven't done a ton of specific spinal extension. So you can add in some bend 1 and 2 work and maybe even some more light twisting and start to play with that and see if that changes any of the sensations in your back bends. But otherwise, feel free to join me on your belly. You worked hard. From your belly, just chill for a second. Be soft. You can release your forehead down. Great. Prop yourself up on your forearms. Keep one block nearby. And kink your right forearm over. Roll onto your right side body. I like to use my left foot here as like a little kickstand, but you can also just keep your legs on top of one another. So having the block, we're going to use the block in just a second, but let's do a little mermaid stretch to start. So from this position, think about letting your right shoulder kind of slide up by your right ear, kind of unzippering through the right side of the body. You can also pick up your right elbow, and this might accentuate this a little bit. Almost kind of like sinking into it, which is the opposite of what we do a lot. So this is a really nice place to be, just kind of stretching, existing like this. Sometimes I like to do this too, if you want a figure 4 action. Another fun thing to do, is to take the block probably on the medium setting and put it so that the sharper edge comes and falls right below your armpit. And as you come down, you might feel big sensations along serratus anterior or those feather-like muscles that are on the side ribs. So be aware as you put your weight down to maybe go slowly. And if you do find some interesting sensations, you can kind of rock back and forth a little bit, move the block up or down. And please know, like the first few times I did this, like I couldn't understand. I think I did it for the first time maybe 10, 12 years ago at a yoga medicine thing. And I couldn't understand how people were putting any weight on this. I was like, no way. This is so painful. This is the worst thing ever. And now, like, it's still a little ouchy, but nothing like that. The nervous system gets used to things as it learns what will and won't hurt it. This was a hard one. The more you rock back, the more you'll get some of your muscles on the back shoulder blade or even your lat. And the more you rock forward, the more you might get into like a little bit of pec major. So there's really no wrong or right here. Being directly on the side, you'll get more serratus. Wherever you are, let's be there for another few breaths. This is a great one to play with for a long time in your personal practice time. Although I'll say, like, the thing about MFR is I'm a type A person, and I get into it too, is like I get in this mode set where I'm like, I'm going to MFR until I feel no feelings anymore. And that's not really helpful, like, to beat yourself up. We're looking for, like, 15, 20% ouchy yuckiness, doing it for a minute or so on each side, and then moving to the other side. All right, speaking up, come off this side. Let's take it to the other. Make your way to your other side, buddy. Mermaid side stretchers. Do whatever you want with your legs. Again, that's not necessarily important. Maybe you pick up your left elbow and just let that shoulder slink up by the ear. Slink up by the ear. I don't necessarily like mine to collapse forward. That feels uncomfortable. I do try to keep it back, but I let it slink up real close to the ear and think about almost unzippering through that left side body. Letting the left, like the left ribs are so heavy, they just want to sink down. Down. You can stay here, or you can grab your block, put it on the medium setting, that edge that's closer to you. That's the edge that's going to kind of go into the ouchy bits as you play with a little bit of rocking action. Or maybe just hold on a spot that has a lot of feelings, just this straight compression can be nice. We'll be here for another 20 seconds or so if you want to change up your position or do anything new, you can. So this class was a little bit more in between as far as like a flow in a workshop. We held postures for a little bit longer, but not as long as we do in some of our workshop style classes. We have a couple more small flows coming up and another workshop style flow. I'll be adding more to this Better Backbends category via requests that I've already had and just because I like playing with them. But if there's anything specific you'd like to see, please don't hesitate to reach out. Slowly remove the block. Make your way to your belly again. From your belly, cross your right leg over your left. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze, 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 lifting your knees off the ground. Release. Switch it out. Left leg on top. Squeeze. Pick your knees up off the ground. Great. Take your left arm out to the left. Plant your right hand under your right shoulder. Curl your right heel in towards your sit bone. And roll to stretch through that left pec. Now, if you prefer the cactus arm variation, you can totally back out and do that as well. Let the head hang heavy. Use your back toes as a kickstand. You could place them on a block. Or again, I kind of like to do a little figure four action here. Just makes it easier for my hips. You might disagree. Great. Release. Take it over to the other side. Your choice of arm positionings. Your choice of leg positionings too. You can be here. You can be here. You can be here. You can be here. Or invent something new. Release. Come back onto your belly. If you need any other postures, go for it. I suggest relaxing on your belly today. It can be a nice place to take a Shavasana or a final resting posture. Of course, if you prefer something else, please be my guest. You also don't have to take your final rest. You can go on with the rest of your life, but it is nice to have a little transition period. As always, thank you so much for your effort and maybe trying some new things, exploring these little micro movements of the body and seeing how we can utilize them in some of our back bend practice. I hope to see you again soon, and give me a shout if there's anything I can do for you. Stay here as long as you like. Bye-bye.